Well, after a week's break in the spring, we return to the Netherlands for the 13th round of the F1RC Season 11 campaign. Welcome along to the Dutch Grand Prix, of course, here at Second Zandvoort, right next to the beach. You can see it's actually quite a foggy day as there is expected rain for the race, but before the race we have a qualifying session to do, of course, and you can see lots of cars lined up at the exit of the pit lane. Alongside me today, we have Boombox and Natsuki. Are you going to drive?
No.
No, I'm not driving.
Okay, well, I guess we can just get qualifying underway as we set the timer to 5 minutes. The wall behind them drops, it goes to green flag, and Q1 is a go. The return of F1RC, of course, after the week's break, and the drivers get going for qualifying, of course, so...
Why is the track slippery already? Holy shit.
The track is completely fine. I don't know what you're on about, but okay.
Well, I know, but it's still slippery.
No, not.
Boom, I cannot hear you. Can you speak a bit louder?
This is a...
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. Alright, sorry. It's just my mic's a little quiet, as usual. So what I missed in practice?
Just...
Nothing.
Yeah, it's just practice.
Everyone somehow flipped, but as we know,
Oh.
no one's gonna flip during the race.
I mean, they might,
not.
but who knows?
There may be a couple people who are known for flipping, but it's not gonna be... There's not gonna be major...
Yeah, okay.
Alright, well, we're completing the outlaps right now with the drivers, and it is going to be bottom 5 out in Q1. We have cars coming towards the start-finish line. I actually don't know who the first one is to start a lap. Is it Matsuki? I mean, it looks like it is. Looks like Matsuki Paxi. We're actually going to bring you back
I'm
down.
leading somehow, finally, fuck.
For fuck's sake. Okay, well, Matsuki, the first one to start a flying lap around his home race, of course. Here at Zandvoort, quite a horrendous turn one, goes wide onto this gravel. Should be okay though, not a CC for the time being. He has the McLaren and Danny right behind him, so he's gonna have to be wary of that. Danny taking a bit of a shallower line compared to the Red Bull, slightly wide for Matsuki at the exit of the banked turn 3, of course, and Danny's now practically side by side with him at the moment. So, not been a good start to the lap for Matsuki, and Danny actually overtakes him in the first sector. The Dutch, he's actually Polish, is Matsuki, but he lives in the Netherlands. But yeah, Matsuki in the first sector in P9 set a 30.3, and Danny, he has set a 29.0, so a little bit quicker is the McLaren's. Actually, we're gonna go spectate the McLaren since he's the one out in front now. Good line through the left-hand hairpin, of course, onto the back straight, which will lead you into the stadium section of the racetrack. I think I might have just disconnected.
Turn 7. You don't necessarily want to be doing
Oh, nope. Alright, never mind. Sorry. I was just lagging intensely. I thought I disconnected, but I think we're fine.
Okay.
Alright. Through the penultimate corner now, and Danny actually abandons his lap. He aborts it, and he says he is corner cut. So,
Oh, yeah. I suspect that may have been at one of the corners where he went a little too wide over the curb. Can you hear me well, Jordy?
Yeah, I do, but like
I was
something in
P1 for a very small moment, fuck yes.
Alright, whatever. Alright, well, bottom 5 currently includes Pixel, Chapman, Matt, Demo, and Danny, of course, who had to abort his lap. Pixel, currently the second Braun GP. He is on a lap as I go to try and spectate him. There he is, coming around the line. He actually invalidated, never mind. So I think Demo, he'll be the next one across the line, currently powering down the main straight. Once again, a huge amount of lag. I don't know why it's lagging that hard, but Demo across the line, and it didn't count his time. I lagged to another dimension, he says in my DMs, and he says that he quits. But he's back. Okay, well, I don't know. The lag is kind of, it's hitting hard. But I don't think Demo's lap counted, which is kind of odd. But, oh well. Bottom 5 will continue on for another lap, of course. I'm going to get this wall ready. Might as well. Just to have it there. Have it set. Minute 25 to go into session. James Rigby top of the pile with a 1:24.5. Greninja Warrior a few hundreds down on the break, and those two obviously had a titanic scrap last season that went down all the way to the final lap of the Grand Prix, if you remember it. James Rigby saying, oh, I'm not sure what happened with him. What the hell? Okay, not sure what's up with James Rigby, but, I didn't get a notification. What? Okay. It was lagging. It probably is lag. Yeah, it probably is a bunch of lag. But, yeah, alright. Oh, someone else is... Oh, DJ. Okay. So DJ's now here. So he continues on. So that currently would mean that Quag would make it through. Bottom 5 still is DJ, Pixel, Matt Demo, and now Bacon. Meaning Quag would be safe. Quag returning to the league, of course. We've got about 33 seconds remaining in the session. We're going to go on board with Demo here, and the Red Bull has started his final flying lap. Matt in the first sector hasn't improved, though. As we go to spectate the Mercedes now, and he's just oversteering all over the racetrack, and he's kept it inbound, just about, never mind, he's actually going wide, but that is Matt's lap, completely done and dusted, and he is not going to participate in Q2, of course. Pixel hasn't improved in the first sector. Demo has, Bacon has as well. 10 seconds remain in this session. Matt saying CC, so it's over for him. 3, 2, 1. No more laps allowed to be set as a checkered flag drops. These are the laps that are going to have to count for the drivers. We go to spectate the Red Bull demo once again. Bacon in the middle sector. Actually going to go on board with him now in the Ford. Coming around the penultimate corner, slightly wide, lots of oversteer on the exit curve. Bottom 5 out in Q1, and I think that mistake might have cost Bacon a chance into Q2. Crossing the line now is the Ford. Demo improving in both sectors. Bacon doesn't improve. He is out in Q1. What about Demo, the Red Bull? Can he knock Quag out of qualifying? Quag obviously won't improve on his lap. Pixel improves. He goes up to P10, so that pushes Quag into the bottom 5. What about them on the second Red Bull? He crosses it. He goes up to P9. So good job for Red Bull. And that pushed, I think it's pushed Ginger out of qualifying. I'm not sure. Hang on, let me remove the wall. Only lap I had,
so,
he says. DJ... Oh, God.
So DJ Lou and Trojas are new drivers, right?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, alright.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, bottom 5 is Matt, DJ, Bacon, Quack, and Matsky, actually. Matsky's the one that is knocked out in his home race. Whilst his teammate made it through on his final lap, it pushed Matsky out of qualifying at his home track. Q1. Alright.
What team is DJ Lou driving through for? What team is Quag is driving for?
Audi. DJ's...
They're both driving for Audi?
Yeah, DJ's... Yeah, they're both Audi.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, well, drivers getting prepared for Q2.
Jordy, did you change something with regards to the fling mechanic?
The
What?
fling... No,
Because
it just flings you, not the car anymore. That's just kind of what the admin thing. That's not
yeah,
something
because
that
Matt
I
is
did.
currently flipped in the final corner, and I can't remove Scar.
You're gonna have to B-tools it.
Okay, then I'm gonna go... See ya.
Yeah, just go ahead and B-tools
There we
that.
go.
Alright, green flag. Q2 is now a go. The loudness of the car is just all piling out of the pit lane. And onto the racetrack they go for Q2 as the timer is now reset. Let me put this there. Zandvoort. Well, as everyone completes their lap, we have a little bit of time to discuss. Boom, what do you think, or who do you think is going to be your favorite for pole position? Obviously, we've seen James Rigby. He was the only one to enter the 123s in free practice, so he could be a top favorite. But Gringe Warrior not too far behind, and Epic Lexer being here as well. He could be a threat, don't you think?
Well, I haven't seen much practice. I haven't seen who's really going to be stronger, but I do know that the race is going to be wet, and I think that Oyster will be the stronger suit, because he's told me how confident he is on the throttle and on the brakes every time there's a rainy race, and I'm going to stick by him on that one. I think James Rigby will be able to pull a challenge, but he's not really going to be close enough to Ois.
Okay.
Venus complained, so he's gonna win the race. We all know that, for fuck's sake.
That is crazy. Okay.
Green has got fucking plot armor in this race, or in this
Plot armor,
league.
wild. All right. Well, it looks like Epic Lexer is the first one to start a flying lap in Q2. As we go into turn 1, Tarzan corner, slightly banked corner. You can see James Rigby much later on the brakes compared to the V-carb. Through turn 2 is a slight lift into the corner, maybe a slight dab of the brakes as well. Hug the inside as much as you can. Take a high line through 3, another banked corner. James Rigby taking it as slightly better compared to the V-carb of Epic Lexer. Up the hill you climb towards this long right-hander that swoops downhill in the first sector. It's actually advantage Epic Lexer with a 28.7. James Rigby 28.8, but Epic going wide. Might have compromised his time there. We'll see. Now James Rigby is actually trying to overtake the V-carb. Lots of oversteer for Epic Lexer as he exits that corner. But he's still somehow ahead of James Rigby. It looks like these two are racing for position right now. But it could be intervening with their laps. About 3 minutes
There's also a
remaining in the
race happening
session.
behind between Demo and a Braun. I'm not sure exactly which Braun that is.
I think that is going to be Green Ninja Warrior.
I
No,
think
that's
that's
Pixels. That is
Pixel.
Pixels. Green Ninja Warrior said he's bottled in the middle sector. It's advantage for Epic Lexer because he hasn't actually improved, but James Rigby hasn't validated his middle sector. So I think it should be a clean lap for Epic to put him into Q3 maybe, unless he corner cut the final sector, crossing the line with the V-carb. He sets a 24.7. That'll easily put him into Q3, of course.
Oh, Pixel also invalidated.
In the second Braun, yeah, Green Ninja Warrior also said that he bottled. He went purple in the first sector of the 28.6, so he went quicker than... Oh, Ois actually now top of the session. He beats Epic Lexer, and Boom's prediction of Ois being right at the front of the field was correct. Ois Green now top of the session for Lamborghini with a 24.716, about 400s quicker than the V-carb, of course. The bottom 5 includes Melon, Green, Pixel, so both Browns, James Rigby, and Axel in his new Ford. As I go to spectate Axel, here he is. Coming around turn 3, 2 minutes remaining in the session. Slightly wide, he has to tap the wall on the exit of 3, but he will continue on his lap on the soft compound of tires, of course. Melon also needs to find a lap. He's currently doing his out lap. Pixel not happy with the track, saying delete it. I mean, most of the people like the track, so that's probably just the Yoop thing.
I think
it just sucks.
And oh no, who's that? Danny has punched, put his foot in the wall.
Oh!
By that I mean in between the wall.
He's like jammed
and he's
in
reset.
it. Okay, well,
He
interesting.
jumped out to reset his tire and then fucked it like this.
Well, he's P5 right now. I don't think he's actually going to get enough time to start another lap, which is going to be unfortunate for him. But
has he grabbed another car?
I'm not
I think,
sure.
yeah, he's driving in an Audi right
That's
now.
the Audi, okay. He said it's over. Green saying the CC is wild. He gets bumped into a CC. That's what Green Ninja Warrior is saying. He should have time for one more. He's got a minute remaining. So, and he's in the final sector.
Green already complaining, he's already making his way into P1.
Lovely.
Welcome to F1RC.
Great. Okay. Okay, well, about a minute remaining in the session now. And we see the bottom 5 is still Melon, Green, Pixel, Ginger, and now Chapman. So there's
So someone moved up.
No, someone moved up. Yeah. Melon validating his middle sector, actually, so not ideal for him, but he should have enough time to start one more lap. Same thing with Green Ninja Warrior, who actually, I think he might have just started his lap. Yeah, he's currently going down the back straight, or up into sector 2.
Are you ready with the wall, or should I put the wall, Jordy?
I'm ready. Green Ninja Warrior
Oh,
hasn't improved in the
got
first
the wall.
sector. Pixel's improving, so is Ginger, so is Chapman's actually not improving. Matter of fact, 15 seconds remaining in the session. Go on board
I'm
with
going to be standing on the line.
Alright. 10 seconds left.
This car coming.
Epic has gone top of the pile with a 24.5. 3, 2, 1.
That Ferrari made it, or none other cars made it?
Alright. That wasn't a Ferrari, that was a V-carb. Or sorry, not a V-carb.
Oh, then-
Fucking, what do you call it? Rusty's. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well,
done.
Pixel went to go across the line. Pixel's out of qualifying. Pixel will not improve his lap, and he will start
so is
in P11.
Axel.
Green Ninja Warrior, Axel's also out of qualifying. Green Ninja Warrior, where is he at? Coming around the final, or main straight now. P12 climbs up to P1. and goes top of the pile, need of the lap when it mattered. What about Melon? He's going down the back straight at the moment. 28.7
Chapman is
in
out
the
and
first
Quack's
sector.
out as well.
Alright, so that's unfortunate for them. Not an improvement in the middle sector for Melon. 2 corners to go for the Rusties. The man sitting P3 in the championship needs to get into Q3 to try and maybe fight the championship leader, who's gone P1 at the moment with 24.4. Round the banking we go. Turn 14, taking a shallower line. Short run all the way to the checkered flag. P13. Will it be an improvement for Melon? The cross sector, he goes P6, and he knocks Demo out of qualifying as well. So the bottom 5, Pixel, Ginger, Chapman, Quack, and Demo all out of qualifying. Ugh.
Danny, you're still in. Yeah, it's the bottom 5, not bottom 6.
Yeah, damn it. Danny, you're still in. Alright.
So yeah, Danny, Bruno, Kanye, SSC, James, Ois, Epic, and Green are
Oi,
through.
who's that? The guy going pit lane exit, come on. No, Quag, you're out. Quag, you're out. Bruh. Everyone to the exit of the pit lane, please.
Matt, Bacon, I know how this shit works, so...
Pixel
Yeah.
driving backwards, like going in reverse. Demo's saying he won't be able to race like this. I'm back in the shadow round, so I think Demo's lagging like mad or something. So.
Well, this Red Bull isn't here, so... Where? Wait, I'm currently looking for... Oh yeah, it's currently stuck on the... right before the banking, that turn.
Alright, okay. Pixel taking a sweet ass time, for God's sake. So there's that. Devo, out of the way, what me to do, man. I really don't. But here we go then. Q3 now live. Green flag. And this is the battle for pole position. 8 drivers to battle it out for the top spot in Zandvoort, of course. Who will stand on top in the Netherlands? The crucial thing is Chris is not here for his home race. So
Like one Dutch driver we have does
Yeah.
not attend the Netherlands. It's
Literally.
amazing.
That is kind of wild, and that is going to be crucial for the championship today in the hands of Green, in the hands of Melon. So let's see. Melon, let's actually go ahead and take a look at the standings right now. Melon sits P3 with, I believe, 162. Yeah, 160. Never mind, that's Chris. Okay. Melon with 147, Chris 162, and Green 187. So Green 25 points clear of Chris. So there's that.
I think Demo now left because
Yeah, he has
was
because
like
he's just
bad.
complete. I mean, he's out of qualifying.
Okay, I'm
anyways.
gonna. Where is his? Oh, it's still okay. I'm gonna quickly remove his car. So ignore
Okay.
the Red Bull driving at the bank corner.
Alright. So here we go then. Epic Lexer once again out in front. With James Rigby following closely behind. Actually right up the gearbox of the V-Carb. These two closely matched together. Wanting to race once again in qualifying. Here we go then. First laps of Q3. James Rigby that much later on the brakes. Down the inside. Brilliant overtake actually. In the Tarzan corner. So there's that slightly wide through turn 2 for James Rigby though. But he takes a shallower line compared to the V-Carb. I'll actually go with the midfield here and spectate Danny, who's forced to take the Audi because his McLaren died. So let's see what Danny does in the first sector. Advantage, Epic Lexer out in front with 28.5. Purple first sector. James Rigby a 10th down, 28.6. Danny setting a 28.9. Down into this corner we go. It's tricky braking. Brake and turn at the same time. The Mercedes of SSC going slightly wide in the background. Through these left-hand hairpin we go. Taking lots of curb on the inside is Danny. Trying to gain as much time as possible. Into the stadium section we go now. You can see the Mercedes of Archie. He's backed off into the stadium. We go with Danny in the middle sector. What does he set? He sets a 32.1. And Epic has actually invalidated his middle sector. So James Rigby will continue on. 2 corners to go with Danny. Now a banking. of turn 14, which is easy flat in these cars with no problem. And here's Danny to cross the line. James Rigby with a 24.4 to go on the provisional pole. Danny a 25.5, 9/10 off of James Rigby's lap with 2.5 minutes remaining in the session. Green Ninja Warrior, what's he up to? He's down in P8 right now, and he's currently going around the banking. He's invalidated his middle sector, so he's going to have to be forced onto another lap. The top 4 are the only ones that have set a valid lap. Oiskry, the second man into the 124s, follows his fellow countryman. Up into P2 goes the Lamborghini of Oiskry, of course, who has said he's already given up on the championship. It's basically no point, and he's just kind of here for fun. So, at least Oiskry's fixed up his mentality and not having to stress much anymore. Let's actually spectate Oiskry right now. The Lamborghini, bit of oversteer exiting the corner. Minute 50 left in the session. Green with a improvement in the first sector, 28.7. Oiskry trying to overtake Danny right now as we speak. There's that. 31.5 for James Rigby in the middle sector. So it looks like it is an improvement for the Brit. Season 7 world champion rounding the final banked corner, turn 14, and onto the main straight he goes on the Rusties. What does James Rigby set? Does he improve his lap? Looks like he does by the slenderest amounts. It's a 24.437 with a minute 20 to go. I think this lap that James Rigby has just started will be his final one. So, can James Rigby solidify pole position, or will it be someone else? Will it be Epic? Will it be Oiskry? Archie, the Mercedes has gone up to P3, so decent for him. He said he looked comfortable around this racetrack, and it looks like he is proving that at the moment. A minute remaining in the session, and everyone now prepping to start their final flying laps of qualifying. Green Ninja Warrior starts his final one. Let me get this wall ready. There we go. Green Ninja Warrior started this final one. I don't know why I'm spectating Pixel. Through turn 3 we go with the Canadian. Slightly wide through turn 3. Slightly taps the wall. Improvement for Oiskry in the first sector. 28.8 for him. But in the middle sector, it's shown that that is where the Lamborghini struggles. 30 seconds remaining in the session. Pixel doubting his own team right now, saying he's not going to get pole. 29.1 in that first sector for Green Ninja Warrior. It has not been a good first sector for him. Epic Lexer 28.8, not an improvement for him in the V-carb. Into the stadium section we go. It is an improvement for the middle sector at least. 12 seconds remaining in the session. 31.7, purple middle sector for Oiskry. Oiskry is absolutely cooking here at the moment. Can he snatch pole position away? 5 seconds remaining in the session. I think Ois might have a chance to steal pole away from James Rigby. So that is it. We're going to spectate Oiskry for the rest of the lap. Onto the main straight we go. Green Ninja Warrior going purple in the middle sector. What about Oiskry to go P2? He stays P2. Green is still cooking that middle sector. What does he do? He's coming around the banking now. 2/10 to jerk this Oiskry off of James Rigby. Here comes Green Ninja Warrior from PA. Can he snatch it away? He gets onto the front row and beats out Oiskry, but it won't be
Bruno
enough
and
to
James are still going.
Well, James's lap isn't really going to matter. He is still on pole. Bruno is still on a lap, so he might be able to improve. James Rigby now crossing the line. No, that was actually Mellon. No, James Rigby is over. James Rigby's lap is over. So what about Bruno Raptors? I can't actually spectate him, so I don't know where Bruno is. I can't
He's
spectate
at the
him.
He's almost at the chicane. He went a little bit wide into.
He's at the stadium section.
Okay, let me see if I can do this then. Watch Bruno. Here we go. All right. Just now entering the stadium. Oh, is that a corner cut for Bruno Raptors? He continues on with his lap.
So.
Middle sector. What is it like for Bruno? 32.4. Not an improvement. It's not been a decent lap for Bruno. And slightly wide through the penultimate corner.
No,
Bruno Raptors.
no.
That might be his lap ruined. P6, I think, is going to be the best it will be for Bruno Raptors. And he actually backs off his lap. But James Rigby had his heart in his throat for the final dying moments with Green and Oisk improving. But the top 3 all, or actually the top 4, all in the 24s. 3/10 within each other. Close qualifying, and that is it for the Dutch Grand Prix qualifying session.